So, yes, I wanted to just introduce myself. Deciding of whether more the and father to Rachel and Nehemiah, I did other stuff in my life. Okay. So first I wasn't born in a Jewish family, in a religious family. I was not even far from religious. I didn't know that I was Jewish until the age of 9. Okay, so I discovered that when my dad bankrupt and in France, and my mom decided to go to Israel to join the family that came from Morocco. All the family went from Morocco to Israel. We were the only one with one of my aunts living in France. So when my dad bankrupt, he was a lot of trouble in France at the time. And so we got a little bit of money that they had and they went to Israel. And this is when I discovered family, I discovered the Judaism, that they have a rabbi, I have no clue. And most of what I've learned about the Judaism at the time was from my grandfather. Because he was traveling between families, he didn't have a house, so he was staying with us, sometime for a month or two. And he would come to me and he would talk to me in French, I didn't speak Hebrew at the time. And he was telling me all kinds of stories. And that stayed with me all my life. This little seed that he planted here when I was 9, because after 2 years my parents didn't make it and they went back to Israel, to France, and then again I was not in the cycle of the Judaism at all. So when I met Rivka, at the time I was not religious, I knew a lot about Judaism because I've learned about it myself. And when I met Rivka and we decided to get married, we said we are going to have a Jewish home, we are going to be kosher, and we are going to make sure that our kids are raised Jewish, because it's something that I didn't have, I wanted them to have that. So we got married, we had Yuda, my son is in Florida, Rachel, then we moved to Israel. In the meantime, in 1991, just before we got married, we met the Kabbalah Center in Paris. They opened Kabbalah Center in Paris. It was very small at the time, maybe 15, 20 people were there. And we immediately got very involved with the studying, with the people, with the prayers and all that, because it gave us a lot of answers of why to Shabbat, why you eat kosher, because it was very difficult for us to go and change life. Becoming from non-from to from is like a dramatical journey. And so for me, Rivka was always inside Judaism. For me, it was not. So it was very difficult. So that gave me a lot of the answers that I was looking for on helping me do this journey here. And then we learned about a lot more. Okay? When we went to Israel 5 years ago, we decided to immigrate to Israel. So we took the kids. There was 3, Rachel was 4, was the 2. We went to Israel and then we got connected to the Kabbalah Center there and then we really got in. Okay? And when I say got in, my wife was working in the Kabbalah Center, she was full-time over there. I was working with them doing all the computer and I started to do the classes there. And all the classes that I was doing there were the Kabbalah 101, what they call Artzat Mago. So people are coming, the most difficult one, to explain people what this is about. Because in 1996, when I started, Kabbalah was not like today. You will say Kabbalah, people will beat you up in the street. Okay, that was that. They will take the Zohar that I have here behind you, they will burn the Zohar. Because they will say, you are doing witchcraft. So the Kabbalah at the time was very, very controversial, especially from the religious people. Okay, they didn't want you to have access, they didn't want anybody to have access to this information, we were going to talk about it. And so it was a very difficult thing for us. There's people in the family that didn't talk to us, because we were crazy, because they say it's a sect, and all. It was not and all the stories, they have, those gurus that sleep with everybody and all that. So they said that's what's happening there. So the stories that you cannot imagine, everything, the Lashon Hara that they had, it was not, and all of that, why? The only purpose is to make sure that people don't learn Kabbalah. They didn't want people to have access to it. So I wanted to explain why is that happening? Why is there is so much resistance and there is so much darkness about the people when you want to reveal the light? So that's my journey. Then I came here in the United States. I was 3 or 4 years with the Kabbalah Center in Los Angeles. I helped over there. But it was not the same. At the time it became very political. We had this issue with Madonna and all those things here happening. And also they started to do like the new people, the old people, the rich people, the poor people, the peace people, and they started to do separation, which is always happening in some organizations, but it was very extreme, so we got pulled out from it. And then I got into Chabad. Chabad, they were trying to do Kabbalah. It's not Kabbalah, with the flavor of Kabbalah, but it's not Kabbalah. They have the Tanya.
Kabbalah by a time.
Yes, so we go by the Tanya, which is not the Kabbalah. It's very difficult for me to say that if there is Chabad people here, I apologize, but the Tanya is not what Kabbalah is about. The Tanya is a very difficult thing to study. It's a very difficult thing to understand. And what we are going to learn here is like it's very simple. It's very simple to understand. When you take the Tanya, you need classes and classes, and you go to concepts that are very difficult for us to grasp with the information that we have today and the limited level of study that we have, all of us. So I tried, to push and intervene, and it started suddenly in maybe 10 years ago. Kabbalah was not an insult anymore in Chabad. They started to talk about Kabbalah, and then you type Kabbalah, you have Kabbalah everywhere. Everywhere you go on YouTube, type Kabbalah, you are going to an endless list of people giving classes on Kabbalah. But again, what's happening like the internet is a darkness, is a place of the knowledge, but it's a place of darkness. We are going to understand also why it's happening like that. And so you have all the good and all the bad about that. All the people that know what they are talking about and all the people that don't know what they are talking about. Okay? And they are trying to go because now they are riding on it and now it's become a business. Okay? So instead of being like information for people, knowledge that you can use for yourself, there's a lot of business being done. And like the Jews are very good, like the kashrut, the kashrut today is a business. Kashrut is to purify and making sure that people eat what they should be eating. But today there is a fight in this kashrut and Halal Israel and not Halal Israel and OUD and OUK and whatever it is. All of that is division. Okay? So we are going to also, why is it happening there? Why there is so much darkness in the places that are most important for Jewish? Okay? Before we talk about all of that, we are going to have to do a little bit of, I would say, basics, understanding. It's like when you want to read, you need first to learn the alphabet, the ABC, right? You cannot go to the 10th grade without having a little bit of information, so you can go and climb the level of knowledge so you can understand. It's not going to be too much because I'm not going to go to the Gemara and the thing and all the good things that the religious want you to do to learn Kabbalah, but I need to give you a few concepts. It's going to be maybe 2-3 classes that we are going to, and then we are going to do into the meat of everything that I was explaining and why there is so much happening around the Judaism, around some of the kashrut, the rabbis, the prayers, the synagogue. I go to this temple, but I don't go to this temple, and there is the Reform and non-Reform, and Orthodox, modern Orthodox, and this Orthodox, and this one with the shorter sleeve, this one with the long sleeve, with white socks, with the blue socks, with the red socks, with whatever socks they have, and this one shave, this one doesn't shave, all the good stuff about the Jews. That makes us unique in one sense, but all this division and why is it happening, and what are the forces behind all of that. Okay? So I gave you 2 things here. We are going to go and go over the short introduction about why learning Kabbalah. Why people are so interested into learning Kabbalah, and why is it important to learn Kabbalah today, especially today. So if you go to the first paragraph here, that you can see here, is that the study explains the spiritual and physical laws governing the universe and our lives. Okay, that's a huge statement, right? Again, the study explained the spiritual and physical laws governing the universe and our lives. So maybe you didn't have an understanding that someone is governing here what is happening. Okay? In the chaos of your life, there is a place that is governing you, and is governing your life, and is governing everything that you do. You think that you have the free will, that we are going to talk about, but really, there is some places that there is a force above that is going to govern what basically is happening. It reveals the secret of our world and answers the old-age questions. What is the purpose of life? Why was the world created? How was the world created? Why am I here? Indeed, principle can be found in the world of the world and the study of Judaism and in many holy representative writings of those other religions. So if you look at other religions and all the writings of many philosophers, they ask the same question. You know, why am I here? It's not a Jewish question. It's like a universal question. Everybody is asking that, no matter what religion you go. But the Kabbalah answers that question. That's the difference. So the other people, they have the question, but they have difficulties finding the answer. And the Kabbalah content is going to help us answer those questions, because a lot of people still don't know what they are here. Why I was born. Why I was born in a family. Why I was born rich. Why I was born poor. Why I was born smart. Or I was born less smart, or crippled, or whatever. Because there is a lot of, if you look at the world, it looks like there is a lot of discrepancy between life of people. Why is it so? If you go to India, you see how poor people are. You are going to bless, every day you open your eye, you are going to bless to be here in the United States. Every single day. You have to bless that you are not in that country. Okay, so there is thing here that is very important to understand those concepts of why we are doing what we are doing and how we are doing it. So that's maybe one more answer. The study of Kabbalah is not the light at the end of the tunnel, but rather the light that removes the tunnel itself. So, you know, people say, oh, I'm going to learn Kabbalah, I'm going to understand, and I'm going to see a little bit of light in my tribulation here, you know, everything that is today making my life difficult, or sometimes relationship difficult. It eliminates the darkness. You know, one time I had a discussion with a rabbi that he has studied, or is a rabbi, he studied for years and years and years, and I told him the darkness has been created by God. He said, no, the darkness, God created light. He didn't create darkness. The darkness is not something, and I say, yes, the darkness has been created by God. Everything that you have here has been created by God. So while you are in the tunnel and there is no light, where are you at? You are in the darkness. But what's happening if you add one candle in the tunnel? Where is the darkness going? Because the darkness is a thing. Where is it going? Okay, that's a question that you always have to ask yourself. When you are facing, you know, like a very difficult challenge, and now you pass above this challenge, and you successfully go above this challenge. What happened to the challenge? Well, the challenge disappeared. You made it disappear, or what happened to that challenge? What happened to everything that you had to do to go over it? Okay, so we are going to talk about that. Opening up the whole new dimension of awareness. So you are going to be aware of things that are going to seem to sound logical to you, but still is going to be like how that applies to me. So you need to have the awareness here of how that's going to influence your life, how that's going to influence what you are doing. And it helps us with many things, why the war began, why it's so difficult to break negative and destructive patterns that cause us much pain. You know, some people when I do astrology, I always have some signs that are destructive signs. It doesn't sound logical that someone is going to be destructive. That's not. When your baby is born, that isn't born say, oh, I'm going to be destructive today, even if they are. If you have babies, you know what I'm talking about. So that's not part of the creation. That to be naturally destructive. So there is a force, again, that makes things happen. And some of the forces we control, some forces we don't control. So why we continue to avoid activities that we know are good for us in our lives? You wake up in the morning, you know that, I don't know, you have some disability with your body. The doctor comes and says, you need to do 3 things. Stop salt, stop sugar, and exercise. It doesn't sound very complicated, right? Don't eat salt, don't eat sugar, and don't eat exercise because you're on a medical condition. If you do that, you are going to improve. In percentage, if you ask doctors, and they have 1% of the people follow the instructions. What about the other 99% that you come with the solution to your problem, but you don't want to hear about it? Because you are comfortable with your miserable life. So that's something that we have to discuss, and why is it happening, and why is it so difficult to go and change. I got cancer 5 years ago, stage 4 cancer. I should not be here today. And I had to change a lot of stuff in my life. Because today I will not be speaking to you. So that's the type of thing that you learn with the Kabbalah, that you have to be doing those efforts, and we are going to understand why, and what are the forces that are telling you these little words, it's okay, little bit of sugar here, like he did to me, that's okay. No, that's not okay. You can't pick up. So why chaos bothers to exist? Why do we have even chaos in our life? Why God couldn't create a world? No chaos. Everybody is nice, like John Lennon, peace and love, and this. Why God created chaos? That's not fair. Let's create a world that's a perfect world. God is perfect. Why you have to create chaos here? So I don't know if you ask yourself one time, because this God is love, you go to the temple, he loves you. See, you love me, so you take me out of the chaos. Why 6 million Jews have to die? What that's about? How to instill meaning and generate spiritual power in our life and the life of others. Okay? So the spirituality today, again, 20 years ago you will talk about spirituality in the Judaism, in the synagogue, it says, well, go to India because the spirituality is in India. We are not spiritual here, we do prayers. Baruch Atah Hashem, that's what we do. We are not spiritual people. Spirituality is not part of Judaism. That's what you will hear. 20 years ago, that's what you will say spiritual people say. This is spirituality. We are yogi here to do spiritual stuff. So we need to understand what behind this word of the spiritual power, and why is it so important to understand what's behind the spirituality. These are the impressive promises, right? Everything that I said here, that when we are going to continue our learning and our journey, you are going to understand all of that. But don't believe my word not for 1 second. Okay, that's always something I was saying in the class. Don't believe me. Judge by yourself. It's not because Isaac said, or because Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, or because someone else said. It's hard because I want you to be able to take me to my word, and I want you to experience that. So if you have things that doesn't make sense, you will have to ask, why is that? Because it has to be not my word, it has to be your experience. That's more important than everything. Our class are going to give you the tools to comprehend and implement real changes in our life, and that are meaningful. Okay? So again, the change is up to you. The information and the knowledge I'm giving you, okay, that's knowledge that is available everywhere. I'm just the messenger. If you go on Google or you buy the books, you have a million books, you have a million Google websites that you can go and learn. There's million classes. It's not the information I'm going to give you is information.
Only one Isaac.
Yeah, there is only one Isaac. That's true. Because when God saw me, he says, let's break the mold, because we don't want another one. So that's the information that is going to be very important for us to be able to implement in your life. Because what we are doing here, we are not going to do something hypothetical or something that is not going to be meaningful for you. It's going to be tools that you can use and help yourself control, have better understanding, have a better relationship with your family, with your friends, with your kids, with your body, with yourself. A lot of people hate themselves. How is it possible that you hate yourself? You are a creation of God. How many people say, I hate myself? What does it mean, I hate myself? Well, you have a self here, say, hey, I hate myself. Where is myself? Okay, so we are going to talk about that myself, because this myself is one of the most important things that prevents people to be successful. So that's for the short introduction. Sorry to make it a little bit long, but that's good because we have people that can make here. So there is a book here from Kabbalah here that talks about the 13 principles of Kabbalah. Okay, so what's 13? What is 13?
Attributes of mercy.
Okay, what is 13 mean? Tell me that. But why is it everything around 13? Everybody have an idea? Do you know about numerology? How do you write 13 in Hebrew? With Gimel. Okay, so you have the Gimel Midat, Rachamim, you have all the Gimel. But if you take the numerology, that means you take that 13, then you take other letters in Hebrew that also has a value of 13. The DNA of the 13 is the same. Okay, we are going to learn about gematria, about numerology. And so another word for 13 is Echad. Echad, Aleph, Chet. Dalet is 13. Another one is Ahava, which is love. It's also 13. Dimitri. Okay? So every time you see 13, you have to think about Echad, unity, and love, Ahava. Okay? That's what 13 represents. So the number one is don't believe a word you read. Test drive the lessons learned. Okay? When knowledge is great, knowledge is the Satan. Knowledge is the one that's going to take you down. Because when a doctor, you see a doctor, he has a lot of knowledge. He learned from 8 years. Does he know something about life? Does he know something about to cure you? Especially not today. They don't have knowledge, but they don't know how to use it to help you in life. So the knowledge that you are going to have is something that you need to go and practice. And don't, if a doctor tells you take that pill, so now I'm contradicting myself with the salt and the sugar and the thing, right? So we'll talk about this contradiction because there's two forces there that are contradicting themselves. But you are the judge of yourself. And that's very important. That's the number one. Number two. So two basic realities exist. Our 1% of the world, this is what we see. Most of the stuff that we see here is 1% of the world, and the 99% of the realm of light, all the light that you don't see. So there is one study that says if you will be able to see everything that's happening in this room with your eyes and all the energy and the light there is here, you die on the spot. If you will be able to see the energy, the light, the different beams, like for example when you take the remote, you push the remote, so that means that there is something that goes there, right? There is energy that is you are not able to see that, but that's the 1%. There is 99% of the stuff that is happening that nobody sees. Okay? So you have to connect, and that's what we are going to connect. We're not going to connect to the one, we are going to explain the 1%, but we are going to try to connect to the 99%. 3, everything that human beings truly desire from life is spiritual light. That's what you want. You want the light to eliminate yourself. You know, if I turn off the light here, it's going to be dark, we're going to see each other, it's going to be difficult for me to communicate. But as soon as I turn on the light, everything's going to be clear. You can see me, we can see each other, we can interact, we can look at each other, we can see each other's eyes. That's what you need in your life. So when you live in the darkness, guess what? You don't see where you are going, you don't see anything. So you always need to go and be connected to that spiritual light. For the purpose of life, there is the spiritual transformation from the reactive being to a proactive being, you know? Always when you have an employee says, I don't want to be reactive, I want to be proactive. Why didn't you check the server? Why didn't you check the server? Be proactive, don't wait until it breaks, you know? That's something in your life. If you know that something you do is wrong, don't do it. Be proactive. If you know that everything goes on the education of the kids, make sure you focus on the education of the kids. Going to the bars and having fun is not the purpose of life. The purpose of life is making sure that you have the kids have what they need. Okay, you can have a little bit of fun, but not to the detriment of the kids, because that's where the purpose of your life resides. Okay, so being proactive. Being reactive for me, for example, is very hard because I'm a very hot guy, and if someone pushes 3 or 4 buttons, I will going to be reactive. So even in all the study and all that, very difficult thing to achieve. In the moment of our transformation, we make contact with the 99% wrong. Again, when we are going to start transforming ourselves, we are going to start transforming our mind to be outside of the 1% limitation, then we are going to go and start seeing other stuff. You know, we all see, I'm making an assumption. I don't know if you watched the movie Matrix, but in the Matrix, the guy from Matrix was learning in the Kabbalah Center when I was in Los Angeles. And everything that you have there is about a lot of stuff. Well, okay, it's a Hollywood movie and all that, but the message behind it is the message of that. There is the 1% and there is the 99% that you have no clue that it exists. And people are living in the 1%. What about the rest? That's few selected people. And if we are really here tonight, if you are here tonight and we're not talking, there is a reason for that. And we'll also talk about that. So, 6, never, and that means never, lay blame on other people for external event. When something happens to you, that's because of you. That's because of I hate myself. That's because of the myself. Never someone else. Nobody, you know what I tell my kid or a guy, I said, this guy didn't wake up on the morning and says, how I'm going to make you miserable today. That's not what his purpose was. He made you miserable because you deserve to be miserable by your action. So if you don't want to be miserable, change your action and you'll be less miserable. But don't blame other and don't blame the other thing happening around you, because blaming other is a lack of responsibility about myself. 7, resisting our reactive impulse create lasting light. Okay? What does it mean? It means that I don't eat ice cream anymore. Okay? Because of my cancer and all that, no sugar. Sometimes they go, the other day they went to eat ice cream. One ice cream here, one ice cream there. No. You don't let go. You have a principle, you live by that principle. As soon as, you know, it's like people that stop smoking, take one cigarette. That one cigarette that they take brings them back to the thing. And AA will never touch alcohol again. Never in his life. Because as soon as he touches alcohol, he knows that he's back into it. That's what this is about. So, when we go and we want to go and connect to the light, we need to make sure that we are responsible and we are serious about it. And there is no going back, because as soon as you go back, you lose everything. You know, I always take the example, you climb a ladder, you climb, it's very hard, but to go down, it takes one misting, you are down, and then when you are down, and it hurts a lot. So all the efforts that you put are gone. And you have nature? Are you the 1% or the 99%?
What is human nature? That's what
Yeah.
What is human nature?
What is the human nature? Why are we pushed to be destructive? Why are we pushed to be working in the 1%? Why you want to be the puppet that that you see into this movie? Matrix. You want to be the puppet, or you want to be the one that's making it happen? That's what you have to think about. Okay. 8. Reactive behavior creates instant spark of light, but eventually leaves darkness in the ways. So you cannot be reactive. You know, my mom was always telling me, you need to turn 7 times your tongue in your mouth before you say something. You know those old wise saying from your mom that basically we don't care about, right? And my kids, they don't care about my saying because they don't understand them anyway. They don't translate very well. So being reactive is against light. Being reactive is feeding the Satan. Being reactive is creating division. Being reactive is creating trouble in your life. Do you want to be reactive? That's up to you.
Proactive. What do you mean by reactive?
Reactive, that someone comes to you, push your button, and that's being reactive. No, think about it. What did the guy do that to me? Okay, he has a reason. Okay, don't be influenced by anyone or by anything, right? So that's the reactive part of it. That's the thing that we are going to talk about it a little bit more in our classes because it's a very good question. Why are we reactive? Why Isaac is reactive? Isaac has all the knowledge, he's giving you all the knowledge, he's still reactive. Why is that force that really, really difficult for us to control? Okay? And then proactive.
Can you explain it a little more? Like reactive behavior creates intense sparks of light. Like what does that mean?
That means if you take 2 wires and you put them together, the plus and the minus, what do you get? A spark. Okay? That's what you create basically what we call a short circuit. So basically when you are reactive, you're creating a light short circuit into your body. That's what you are doing. So your body is energy, right? Today we know that the body is electricity. I don't know if there is doctors here, but most of our body is electric. And why we have water? Because water is the best conductor of electricity. So everything is electric in your body. When you do this type of thing, being reactive and that, and not working with the light and other questions, you do a short circuit. This short circuit that you have, what's happening if you do a short circuit? There is no light, right, in the house. How do you call that? The fuse burns, and then you have no more electricity. That's what happened. So you see how deep it's going now. Okay? Reactive means short circuit, means no light, means darkness. Okay, 9, obstacles and setbacks are your opportunity to connect to the light. So people, when I had cancer, I had 2 solutions. Give up myself in the doctor and die, or fight. Okay, I'm still fighting, I'm not done, I'm not out of it, but let's say I'm still there and I'm okay for now. Hopefully I'm going to be okay for a long time. But that's an opportunity that God gives you to go outside of your 1%, go into the 99%, find the strength and the resources to go and reconnect yourself with yourself that you hate, okay, and try to build something that is going to be lasting and something that is going to reveal light and something that people, when they are going to be around you, they are going to be enjoying being around you because you are not a jerk, because you are not saying stupid things, because you are a good company, because you raise your kid the way that you should raise your kid, or you treat your wife the same, and sometimes I don't treat you well, but treat your wife the way that you should treat your wife and your friends. So all of that is opportunities. And setbacks, I'm pretty sure all of you had setbacks in their life. And then you have 2 choices. Oh, it's so unfair. When my kids were saying it's not fair, and always my answer was, guess what? Life is not fair. Okay? But that's not true. Life can be fair, it depends on us. Okay, you go back to We are going to reuse that a lot. Go back to the number, the one that says...
Number 6. Never.
Never, yeah. Never, exactly. External number 6. Okay? So at some point I'm going to use number 6, number thing. So,
Question, by definition, we're pushed to hate ourselves. Is that what the 99%?
hate ourself is something else. We are going to talk about the myself. Because you have a lot of myself in yourself.
Yeah.
So we are going to talk about those myself and it's going to answer your question. That's not related to that. Okay, the being reactive behavior is something else, and the obstacle and setbacks are here to help you, not to trick you. A lot of people say it's so unfair. Oh, I lost my job. It's what you lost your job because God gives you an opportunity to find a better job and make more money. Okay? Oh, I did this, I did that. No, there is a reason. Oh, my car broke. Okay, your car broke, now you need to fix it. Maybe you did do give charity. So instead of the charity, they take it because the charity you have to give it away no matter what. The 10% that you make that you don't give charity is not yours. So guess what? The car broke, the thing, the house, the air conditioning is going to go somewhere because that's not your money. So they are taking that from you without you knowing. That's very annoying. Okay? So that's an example. Then, the greater the obstacle, the greater the potential of life. Wow, that's a huge statement here, right? The greater the obstacle, so for me I was the most difficult disease here that we even saying the word before. 20 years ago you would not say cancer, you would say the disease because just saying the word was not like polite to say. So, or people like the divorce, with kids and all that, it's a huge obstacle. Why do you have to divorce? Oh, see if the thing can be solved. There's two people, and there is a reason you were married and that. We have to talk about the relationship and the thing and the kids and the neshamot and all that. So there is obstacles here that are here for you to make more, reveal more light. And reveal more light again, what's happening when there is more light? You have more clarity. Always think about light, the spiritual life, but also always translate in your life about the reality of the light. When you're in the darkness, you don't see where you are going. How you are going to go to somewhere? If I put you in the darkness, you don't know where to go. You have to. I put light on. You say exactly. My path is here. I want to go to the kitchen. I go to here. I don't have to stumble on the chair. That's what the obstacles are, and that's what you have to use. When challenge appears over 111, when challenge appears over 1 inject certainty. The light is always there. That's another one that we think, oh, I'm so miserable, I'm sure God abandoned me. God cannot abandon you because God is here. He's with you. Okay? We have a spark of God with us 24/7. We want it or we don't want it. We are atheists, we are not atheists, we are religious or non-religious. God is with you. So, we cannot have this thing blocking us because the certainty and the uncertainty when we have to be believing that we can control something. A lot of people, when we were doing the outside Mavo, the welcome class, I don't know what is the welcome class. I don't know how to translate it. They were always saying, oh, it's I cannot do anything about it. Okay? I cannot change. It's overwhelming to me. There is no way that I can overcome. I said, if it was the case, then God will not have put you in that challenge. He put you in that challenge because He knows that you are capable of getting out of it. You feel that you are not capable, but you are capable. We always take the example of people jumping high, the height. So, you know that people jump above, higher than that. Imagine that you are not running, okay, you have about 30 feet to run. You go and you jump over that with your body, with just your body. Is it something you can imagine? I'm pretty sure that most of us is impossible. If you can jump over there, you are going to be happy. How those guys are doing it? What in their brain women, they're like you, they have muscle, they have the same thing, but they have something here. They are not doing the 1%, they are doing with the 99%. And we'll talk about it.
Quick question.
Sure.
If the light always exists and it's always present, how can darkness exist?
Because the darkness exists within some. So if you take your body, you have parts in your body, right? For example, I have cancer. Cancer is darkness, is absence of light. I didn't have a cancer in my entire body. I had cancer just in one part of my body. You don't have darkness in your entire life. You have darkness in some places of your life. There's other places that you have light. You need to eliminate the darkness where the darkness is bothering you, because where the darkness is always selecting is where it's the most affecting you. I'll give you an example. Let's say that tonight we wanted to do the class, right? I wanted to prepare, I wanted to go out, meditate, make sure I have a nice dinner, make sure I'm going to be, ready for you guys. Guess what? We are supposed to get a delivery at 3 in the afternoon. Those guys come at 7. My wife didn't have time to cook me. I didn't eat. I barely drink. I didn't have time to prepare. And that's darkness. But that's darkness that I could have said, okay, call everybody, cancel. We have the delivery guys here. The dogs are barking. Everybody is excited about it. Why?
The babies are crying.
Because there is light that's being revealed. So the darkness is afraid now. There's more people that are going to have that. So you have darkness in your life, but it's not entire darkness. We are going to call that, it's called curtains. You put curtain and a curtain, at some point you are totally darkness. But you are not, most of the people are not there. Because when you are there, guess what? You are out of this world. So as long as you are here, there's light. When there is only darkness, you are gone. 12. All the negative traits that you spot in others, that's the best one, this one, and this one you need to meditate on this one. What of you here? Are merely a reflection of your own negative trait. Only by changing yourself, you can see a change in others. Okay? Number 12. Very important.
That one's very true. That
So,
one's the easiest to see is true.
hmm?
I said that one's the easiest to see that it's true.
Yeah.
Not for everyone.
That's for everyone. A lot of people, they still think that they are better than others. And others are not good because they think that they are not good. But what they see is the reflection of themselves. It's the mirror. Okay? So,
Why do people have such an urge, especially women, to talk about those things? That's my question.
the woman,
Why is that thing?
why the woman,
Like
say it
gossip.
again.
Like gossip.
Gossip?
Yeah.
Because women are at some level, they are coming from Malchut, and you are about 3 or 4 classes ahead of me.
It's hard to ask questions because they're principles. It's hard to ask questions on principles.
Yeah.
Each principle probably has.
Yeah, so there is a lot of things here that I'm going to explain that are going to answer that. While women, we're going to talk about women, and we're going to talk about